mortals, capable of mistakes. The journey's not here to be agonized upon.
Oh, mere mortal lads, welcome to another round of the monthly goals. You have your two favorite mere mortals here on the 28th of June, 2023. You've got Kyrin on this side of the microphone.
And you've got Juan on the other side.
Beautiful, the handsome one on the other side. Our monthly goals is where we take a look at the previous month. So that would be June of 2023. What's coming up for July of 2023. We talk about our fitness a bit. It's just a room for growth, for exploration of what we're planning on doing, even a little bit of touching upon what we're doing with the mere mortals. We always start with my friend Juan and how he has gone. So Juan, tell us how your June goals went.
Good. So the key call out for me for June was I was able to add a few more goals into the list. So ever since I became a dad, and that was a little bit over, less than 2 months ago, but June sort of stepped up a few of the goals. And look, I was happy enough that out of the 8, it was only one that I wasn't able to do. And I already kind of talked about it in the meanderings. Okay. This is a Duolingo. Not at all. Not even. I kind of kept it on track. I thought about thinking, well, there were some days that I was doing 6 to 8 lessons. Would it average out? And I went, no. The call out was 3 minimum before I can train. I wasn't doing that at all. Not even close.
How long did it take for you to stop doing that? Like day 2?
It was like a week and a bit. Definitely went strong for a week, and then there was a day where it was a broken up sleep. I think I was up at 3 a.m. I just had to kind of go. I didn't have the brain power to go and do Duolingo. So I went, I'm going to read and then I'm going to go work out. And then I did a class somewhere in the afternoon for Duolingo. And I went, okay, that didn't happen. And then it kind of snowballed from there. Anyways, it got deprioritized. You'll see how it comes into the July goals. But everything else, it was more so around getting myself back on track from a training perspective, moving on as being a provider, sort of starting to do the normal day-to-day things in terms of, or month-to-month things around having your regular sort of catch-ups with your partner, trying to get myself out and attend the things. The only other one that I'd call out is I had one that's attend one network and learning event. I had planned to go to one last week, which I didn't attend. I didn't go to. And, even before that, sorry, it was at the start of the month. Didn't end up going because, again, just things sort of popped up. But I'm ticking it as a yes because on the very last day of the month, I'm going out to catch up with some old contracting folks that I work with. And so I'm kind of going, all right, that's a networking one enough. And to be honest, to be able to just have one outing like that in the month, I'm happy with it. So, we haven't ended the month just yet, but I'm claiming that as a win. So, for me, yeah. So June goals, it was 88% complete. So it was only 1 out of the 8 that I didn't. So yeah, I was pretty happy. Definitely
Beautiful.
pretty happy.
Nice. That's pretty good. It's pretty reflective of what I've been doing as well. So the only one I didn't really do, I would say, is the organize a casual drink with the new community. I kind of tried, but this is one of those ones, and I think this has been one of my main learnings from this past year. So my yearly goal, so that's going from October of 2022 to the end of September 2023. So there's still a fair few months left for me. Was to try community building. And what I've learned from this is it's more about the time, I think, than it is about the actual method that you're doing it. And so in this case, I kind of joined into this community. It's the V Friends relatively recently, a month ago. Even if I was posting tons, I don't think I would have had time to really, establish any connections per se, perhaps. But, I can kind of see it. I just came in as a random, like, hey, let's get together and do this thing. And of course, no one's really that interested. Even one's showed barely any interest. So it's that was one where it's like, yeah, it's a good learning, but it's also, I'm not a Discord grinder like some people seem to be in the especially in the NFT world.
And look, people love that.
There's a lot of that.
There's lots of people out there who I see even to this day in the Discord who have been there, closing in on 3 years on some of these projects, and they're still grinding hard every single day. And I'm all power to them. Yeah, I couldn't see myself doing that for a long term though.
Yes, yeah, and look, there's people who are grinding it in the terms of they don't enjoy it, but they're doing it as kind of a job type thing, which is kind of hilarious. But that's what the free market opens up. There's always room for arbitrage and random skills like NFT collector or NFT arbitrator or something, which is a lot of what this seems to be. And then there's people who just go in there because they really enjoy it. They enjoy the community. I just don't enjoy communicating that way. Is the kind of plain and simple of it. So that was a little bit of a good learning for me. Everything else, some wishy-washy ones where I read the Bitcoin white paper, I read the Ethereum, I think it's yellow paper, and Cardano doesn't really have any. They've got a bunch of documents. And to be honest, I've kind of stepped away a little bit. I'm still interested, but not as much as I was perhaps a year or two ago. And I actually tried reading this white paper, which was about how COVID started. It was funny. I was watching this video of Robert Breedlove and Eric Weinstein from the Bitcoin 2023 event that was held. And Eric Weinstein was like, there's 3 white papers, and he was talking about the Bitcoin one, obviously. He was talking about the one which was something to do with how, I think the thing that kicked off large language models, it was the first paper really kind of discussing that. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was. I kind of tried reading it. Impossible. I've listened to some explainer things on YouTube.
Like highly technical.
Yes. Also barely comprehensible. Nice. But it was, I gave it a shot, and I was like, okay, if I really wanted to learn about AI, it's kind of like university degree type level of investment required. And then there was this one about COVID, which was this group, which apparently, and this is kind of getting into the more conspiracy theory type deal, this group which was doing gain of function stuff. And I started reading it. I'm like, man, I didn't care about COVID 3 years ago. I don't care about it now. So
caring it even less now. Yeah. Okay. Did you find anything interesting from rereading the Bitcoin white paper?
I did. One of the things that popped up for me was, one, he never mentions 21 million. That's never in there. So that number was created obviously afterwards, but that was interesting. And I think there was maybe one line on economics in the whole thing, like one sentence. The bulk of it was the actual technical details and how it could actually function, but it didn't talk about any of really economic principles or anything like that, which I found pretty interesting, because if you listen to a lot of Bitcoin podcasts, which I have been doing these last couple of years, a lot of them are attaching, deep economic thought theory to this. The Austrians were right, the Keynesians, they don't know shit, etc., etc. And a lot of that feels like it's being added on top of it. It's kind of like the religious aspect is kind of gaining onto it as well. So yeah, that was pretty intriguing reading that and going, oh, okay, maybe it would be better to listen to more kind of technical podcast. And this is where I'm once again getting back to Andreas Antonopoulos. He doesn't really talk about economic theory on it, but you can learn a whole lot about Bitcoin from listening to him. So yeah, it was just that was probably one of the big call outs. Everything else, it was pretty good. I don't think there's anything I need to add to that.
Okay, good call out. Do you want to go through any big call outs in terms of Satoshi's coming through or anything before we go into the July goals?
Yeah, so I haven't. I've yet to tally up because it's still 3 days before the end of the month, and I'm just going to guess. I would say it was a reasonably good month for us. Probably the biggest thing to just know is we're now going to start having the option for fiat on the website. So PayPal is the only one that I'm kind of really comfortable with, and we'll talk about that more once I've actually got it set up. It's one of those ones where it's like, I'll do it. Today I was meant to go live for the Value for Value show.
Yep.
I didn't prep enough beforehand, obviously. So I had what I thought was all I needed. And then when I was actually trying to do it, I went, oh shit, maybe I do need this Icecast or Shoutcast software to then allow me to connect to this audio stream to do this, do that. And I just went like, oh shit, I'm not going to be able to do that today. There's no chance in hell.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
So
there's way more overlay than what you would have thought. Damn.
Yeah, so I'm going to pre-record. Well, I'll record the kind of intro episode, release that probably tomorrow, and then hopefully next week is when I'll be going live. So it's kind of unrelated, but it's just Yeah, more learnings to come.
Always learning. That's what we set the goals for, mate. That's what we set the goals for. Okay, well, let's have a look at the July goals then.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'll kick us off. So I've scaled it down for myself, and this pairs up with two things. One, for myself, and you mentioned it, my annual goals go from August to August, and so this is basically the last month. Going through the existing annual goals that I've got left.
So they start on August.
Correct. Start in August, end of July. So
End of July.
there's 1 month left. There's not a
The
lot
last sprint.
last sprint. So there's
Form.
not actually that many goals left that I've either not ticked off or already assumed in myself that, hey, that's not going to be something I'm going to continue forward, or it's not going to happen, and I've sort of closed it off at that point. Case in point, Duolingo. I'm not finishing French Duolingo in this annual year. That's just not happening. But we'll see how it actually comes out in terms of finishing off strong. So I've got 5.
Yeah.
I'll just go through all of them. First 2, again, on the body side of things, I want to be finishing off the stretching game strong this month. And so recalling back to my annual goals, it was try and get, accumulating basically 30 minutes of stretching in a week. Here, I'm going to go back to the just tried and tested, a big 30-minute stretching session each week, basically for the rest of the month, just to tidy that up. Secondly, it's the forward planning, the yearly fitness goals list. So similar to what I've done way in the past, you continue to do so. I'm going to go down that path again. So something that I didn't really see worked well was I had this Operation 30, and that was all about, had a few things around fitness, which was running a certain distance and swimming and strength and multiples of body weight. What I found with that was there was just too many things. In comparison to even the list that we usually do, it was just too many. There was just so many. And then obviously, becoming a father happened, injuries happened, life happens. So I want to set up much more of a targeted fitness list, which I can go through and have a bit of a think about. And perhaps not being, 10, 12 things. It might be a more focused approach of a few key things and then having a few multiple levels within there. So that's kind of the idea, the goal. We'll see how that works out, but at least have a think about it. The other 2 now in the mind is one, making, so I'm going to make an effort here in the last month to increase my use of Duolingo as much as possible for the times I've got available. So I'm not saying this is hey, do 3 before training. However, what I'm going to make a call out is usually if I've got spare couple of seconds, minute or 2, I'll just go on Instagram, I'll go on TikTok, I'll just do whatever. I don't have to really. I'm going to make a really hard commitment on, hey, if I've got 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's a Duolingo class. I found myself, I had to go to an accounting meeting the other day just in the city, and I was waiting for the individual to come and have a bit of a chat with me. And in the 5 or 6 minutes, I was like drinking a bit of tea. I went, okay, I've got time to do 2 Duolingo classes right now. And I finished it just as the guy came over. So I went,
Beautiful.
Yeah, I want to replicate that. I want that for the whole month of July. I want to be almost every moment that I've got available in terms of spare time where I would usually just waste it or just chill out, I'll try and use it for Duolingo. So that's kind of the effort there for that one.
That's kind of how I feel with the German goal that I had, which was just only listen to that in the car or nothing. And what I found was on all the days where I'd normally go, it's the end, it's the evening, I'm driving back home. The last thing I want to do is listen to some German. But when you set yourself and it's not going to be productive, my brain's just mush at the moment. When you set it as, okay, well, you can only listen to that or silence.
Or nothing. Yep.
Yeah. You'll find, okay, no, it's actually worth putting on. Sure, I might not listen as hard. And even when I'm like really fresh, driving does take some concentration. So I'm not 100% dialed in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I did find, if I just set myself, no, I'm not allowed to dick around or I'm not allowed to do this other thing, it actually does make a pretty big difference.
Does help. So we'll see how this final month with it goes. I'm not going to finish Duolingo French, but let's see how far we get there.
Yeah. Sure.
That next one is simple, but it will take a lot of time, which is taking that big time out in the month. That might be sitting at a spot that I used to do it in, maybe taking the whole family to a park area and sitting down for a couple of hours in planning the next annual goals. And so I've got a murky idea for some, completely no idea on others. And so this was probably going to take a little bit longer, maybe even more than a day, on refining what the ideas are, what that looks like, so that coming into the monthly goals again for us, it's at least for me, I've got eminent human being goals, which sort of scale down to the annual goals, which then go into actionable things as the monthly goals. So that's sort of the big piece that I'll be working through. In the
When
fifth
do you
one,
think you'll do that, man? Because episode 400 is coming up in a couple of weeks, so it would be pretty cool if we could make that happen. Because we've always made the 100, 200, and 300 were they were kind of special. They were unique ones. They were ones where it was I can still remember them. For example,
yeah, like a little bit. Well, we did one without a shirt. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so there was a Buddhism one. There
That's
was the one where I came back from my retreat and started speaking for the like first time. And what was the other one? Maybe I can't actually remember.
I can't remember the 300, but I can definitely remember the one for Buddhism / no shirts. I do specifically remember that one. Go back and check that out if you want, folks.
V Friends. You came back from VCon. That was your one.
300. There you go.
So if we can do 400 for,
there you go. We might be able to partner it up for making another special one. Okay,
that would be nice.
That's a challenge. And fifth one and last one, it's going to be a little bit different. It's playing back a few of these goals so setting up the goals in terms of the annual goals, and then playing them back to family. Because I think a lot more we'll see for myself, it'll start shifting towards, okay, cool, these are goals that are more setting up structures for the family. That might mean houses. That might mean building X. That might be setting up tax structures. That might be, you name it. It's that sort of mentality. So it's playing that back across from the people that it's going to impact, including the stuff that we do here in the podcast, to go, okay, how's that going to play out over the year at the very least? So those are, for me, July. Nothing else going to get added to. I'm not promising on doing another book review or whatever it may be. At the moment, I'm reading Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, which is really good. Really enjoying it.
It's a great book, yeah.
Maybe I'll get to doing the book review for it. Maybe I won't. So I'm not promising anything in relation to that. And yeah, we'll see how we go. But those are the July monthly goals.
Beautiful. That's one of those books I read probably too young. I think I read that when I was 19. And
dude, it would have been honestly, if I'd read this book 5 years ago, I would have gone, what the hell is this shit? Now I'm like, no, I can see why it's good.
Yeah. I remember it impressed upon me at the time, but it was a bit much at the same time. So no, that's a good one. I'm keen to hear your book review for that when it does come out, not necessarily in July. So let's get into mine. So my 8, they focused upon my yearly goals as usual. I'm going to start saying yes again. So I'm gonna not become the yes man. This is one that's popped up before.
Yes man. You've seen the movie Yes Man from Jim Carrey?
I have. Yeah.
I rewatched that. I rewatched that recently. So it can only result in good things.
You. And chat to everyone. I've been focusing mostly on chatting to girls, particularly in the gym, but it's good. It's good to just be a bit more friendly and reach out to everyone, because sometimes people come by you because they want to. I was saying today, 2 people came up to me and just had a friendly chat, asking me about flexibility. That was really nice. I enjoyed doing that, and I'm sure I can brighten other people's day. If I see a guy doing something really cool, I should just go up and be like, yo, dude, what are you doing there? That's kind of cool. So that's one. So just being a bit more friendly. For the community type stuff, I'm actually going to take a kind of backseat this time and do some analysis. So I really want to look at successful shows that are doing value for value. So this would be the ones that are top of the fountain chart, for example, or I probably want to get back into at least listen to 1 or 2 No Agendas. I don't normally like it because it's about media, and they're also 4 hours long, 3 hours, like they're huge episodes. So I can't listen to that each week. But I want to do a bit of analysis, I think, see if I can get some takeaways, which will also help the Value for Value show, which I am also kicking off again. So by the time this comes out, the first episode of season 3 will be out.
Oh, he's making the commitment.
Making the claim. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Converting sats to fiat, so Satoshis to fiat. I told you how I was having this kind of dilemma. We discussed it in one of the latest episodes, and I want to actually do it. I want to actually see if I can find a relatively efficient way, because I I had a bit more looking, and I was like, oh, okay, there's actually quite a few options that either require some, intense browser stuff. For example, using the Tor browser. I'm not sure I want to go that
Whoa,
that route.
damn.
That's
I haven't
hefty.
used that. I haven't used that for a long time.
That would be hefty for me. I'm not the greatest software person, so
I
there's
think
kind of that.
if I were to put like an age, I'm pretty sure I used a Tor browser when I was 17,
Yeah.
16 or something like that. Damn.
Was LimeWire considered Tor? Was that Tor, or was that?
I don't know if that would be considered Tor because I used to go into what it was considered the dark web and all that.
Did you have to use command line for any of that stuff?
I do remember using command line back then. This was following like complete instructions too.
Yeah. I know. I like I was saying with the Icecast and Shoutcast servers to try and go live. Both of them they brought the command line up. I didn't even bring it up itself. It just appeared.
It just did it. And you're like, oh shit! I know. This is what I'm getting into.
I'm scared. So last month I did go to. I think I actually went to 5 yoga classes, and I got bailed on a bar class. So I would have been to 6 if the teacher had rocked up. So I'm gonna make the commitment, go to 6 classes of some sort again this month. So make the effort to get out to them. For the kind of doing something unique, crazy, or memorable. I won't repeat it on it here because I'm not sure if Brendan would particularly want me to. But Brendan did something completely unexpected. I didn't think he had it in him, and this was as a result of reading this book from, I think it's from Michael Singer, who you talked about a couple of months ago. So whatever it was that got him to change, I kind of want to access that, and whether it be in the book form or podcast form or something like that, I want to learn about, how did he do this? How did he change? So I think it was something about surrendering to the moment. I think that was the kind of gist or the theme of it. Okay. So I want to know what combination of words enacted a change in someone close to me. Yeah. Stepping up I'm going to continue German only in the car. And because you like called me out or were going to give me props for something I didn't do, I'm also going to do 4 hours of Duolingo. So I'll kick it back off. I wouldn't have done it unless you brought it up.
Okay.
But I was like, yeah, you know what? I can find 4 hours from somewhere. I can definitely do that. Starting up some daily reminders. I used to have this. It was kind of similar to the sheet that Benjamin Franklin had. That was one of the learnings I kind of took away from his autobiography. So I want to kick that up again, which is kind of, it's just stuff to read in the morning and be like, this is, don't do this, do this. Mm-hmm. Pretty basic. And then the last one is I want to have a discussion with you about kind of just future plan strategy for the Mir models. It's been a while since I think we've had a intense one where we both set aside time to really just chat about where we think we're going, what we can do to improve. I finished my priority sheet, so I want to kind of go over that with you and just see if you think that's I've got them in the right priority, the right order, more or less, and yeah, just go over that.
Good. I like that. I like that, and of course, here it's not all over the world. We've also got the end of financial year, and I think last annual goals or like last June, I had to actually check last July 2022 goals, or maybe it was 2021. I remember having a lot of the time on set aside a whole big amount of time to do my tax and whatnot. And interestingly enough, I've kind of got it now to a point where it's streamlined enough that it doesn't have to worry. And I'm about to fuck that up with like just completely new structuring of absolutely everything. So
nice.
Yeah, be on the lookout for some future goals at once, like panicking about redoing all the other bullshit. But okay, that was
the degenerate NFT behavior. That's
exactly. So that's the July 2023 goals. Anything on the fitness front for you?
I don't think I got any points this month. I was pretty close to what was I? The planche. I got a tuck planche of. It's like I got 27 seconds, but by the end of it, my hips were so low that it was kind of, I'm not sure I can categorize it as a tuck. So I probably got about good 20 seconds.
Okay, that's
a
huge.
Tuck planche. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot stronger just in the shoulders and upper back, which is going to really help me. I was this close people to getting a Stalder.
He called it out. He said, I'm getting a staller today.
I did, and I wasn't even close that day. It was one of those. The week before, I felt super strong. And then the same Sunday, same preparation, same everything. Come into it, and it's just like, where's all my strength gone? I've got nothing.
It always happens like that. Well, on an equivalent front, and you'll see me talking a little bit more about fitness, and this is probably a precursor to what you'll see coming in the 2023-2024 goals for myself. But briefly, I saw that my strength has relatively gotten much higher, or comparatively, at least for the now, not to the lifetime of my goals, but I was able to start squatting 200 kilos again, kind of relatively okay. And everything was feeling fine until a couple of days ago when I don't know what I did. I think I just like landed on my left knee incorrectly, like from a jump or like jumping up to a pull-up bar. And now I haven't been able to like do anything with my legs for a whole week.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
like, what the hell? So
nice.
I think I went from squatting at 200 kilos last week to barely able to move the left leg.
Incapacitated.
Of course.
Wow. Hashtag dad life. Jeez. That's no good, man.
That's how it happens. So, anyways, those will be the monthly goals coming up into July 2023. Any other call-outs at all you want to make at this point?
No, I think that's really good, man. I think we're both in a pretty good phase of our lives at the moment. I'm certainly in a better headspace than I was, say, 6 months ago, and just feel more motivated for the future. Feeling good. Yeah.
We're on the lookout once you find those words in podcast or book form, so you get the same little transformation as Brendan as well. So
we'll see.
Maybe we'll see it in the months to come. All right, we'll leave it there then. Me and Mortalites, thank you very much for joining us here once again. Just chatting about our monthly goals in the past, what's been happening in the future, what's to come. If you want to share that at all with us as well, feel free to send through a message. There's many ways, as Kyrin mentioned. We are going to make it in the intermediate for now, some sort of support for you to be doing for us in a fiat form, and that's going to go through PayPal, but you can still, and we still do encourage people, if you want to participate into it, the Valley for Valley way, which is going through and sending through a Boostgram, sending Satoshis through by streaming on any of the new podcasting platforms out there that allow you to do. So things like Fountain is a big place that we really call out and like to share as well. So I think at the moment, if you go to it right now, the Valley for Valley one's being promoted. Is that correct?
It's the Mere Mortals episode. So it was the episode that I did about value for value.
Correct. So you will see some of those being promoted there. That sort of helps out. But of course, you can find us on quite a few others. But again, reach out to us on whatever platforms. If you like to leave, one of the 400 odd comments that we got on one of the Instagram reels, feel free to do that too. I'm sure we'll reply maybe to those.
If it gets lost, yeah.
Exactly. But I think for now, we're going to tie it up there. Join us again for the next monthly goals and for all the other sessions to come. Mere Mortalites, that's all. One out.
Kyrin out.
Cool.
Bye.